All right, man. This DJ the Barber, man. You watching Faded Hustle TV. Today I did my first video of me cutting some hair, and it's not gonna be perfect. I made a lot of beginner mistakes, man. I am a beginner, so bear with me. But basically, right here, I was pretty much setting my guidelines, and as I was setting my guidelines, I was like, you know what? I probably would have done better debulking first because the hair was thick. These were my first time using the Tone 45s, clippers and trimmers out the box, and I just told myself this haircut I was gonna just pay attention to balance, because that's part of it. My boy had a million cowlicks. His hair was going every which way, and I had to really implement some things. I know it's a lot of things I could have done different, but this is why I'm gonna start recording myself cutting hair, so that way I can look back at my work and see what I'm doing wrong and what I could have done better. So right here I was basically cleaning up the area, and then I realized, I used the fucking 0.5 to clean up the whole area. I almost started panicking, and I was like, you know what, nah, it's all good. You know what I mean? Just go back in, debulk, get yourself ready for the big haircut. I used like an 8-guard just to kind of flick through the hair, just to kind of get it to tame it. After that, I had to put my thinking cap on, because I'm like, how do you start this haircut? And a lot of times as a beginner barber, you get to thinking how do I start this haircut? So basically, this is me flicking up. I went in again, just trying to debulk some of the hair, going with the grain. I'm paying attention to that cowlick, because that cowlick is crazy. But I'm also in my head, I'm really I was almost stalling in a sense. But I finally figured it out. I was like, you know what? Let's get to it. Shave the bottom with the trimmer. Let's get to it. Let's start this haircut off right. As I was doing that, I was very paying attention to details, making sure I didn't nick the customer. My line could have been way straighter, but I did start the line literally on the cowlick. So, beginner mistake, but I'm not sure if that was avoidable or not. But I'm willing to take pointers. One thing about me is I don't think I know everything. So, this video was hella long. I feel like it took me hella long to cut this hair, but I was just really focusing on the fade. After this, what am I doing now? I hit them with the shaver and kind of clean up the back of it. Man, he was squiggling and squirming. He had to go pee, bro. It was like, all right, buddy, go ahead, go pee. You know what I'm saying? Clean them off, let him go pee. I gathered my thoughts. It was almost needed. I needed a break. I need to gather my thoughts and figure out how I was going to approach this haircut. So he's back. Boom. I finish him off. I'm like, yo, you good, buddy? He's kind of mad at this point, man. He's sleepy mad. He's just fucking ready to go. But I'm like, nah, let me just, we doing this. We doing this right now. So I take the shavers, clean up my little area. I'm very meticulous about me cleaning up the area. I want it to be very clean, very neat. I don't want it to have straight hairs. I went in and put my guideline in. I know most people say one finger, but I ain't gonna lie. You gotta give yourself room. Man, you can't have them guidelines just stacked up on top of each other all tight, man. You gotta give it a little contrast. And he was going for a low-key high fade. A high, fade, whatever. So I put in my guidelines, and one thing as a beginner barber, I will tell you this: the way you start your haircut will determine how you will finish it. So as you're making your guidelines, try to keep them as straight as possible, as neat as possible. Do you see the clippers? The clippers are really doing their thing right now, man. I'm still thinking in my head, I'm like, man, I done made another harsh guideline. But I keep going. He's just looking like my boy cannot keep still. I got a bad habit of throwing my guards everywhere. I have to stop doing that, so I ordered me a guard holder. And, I just have to be more conscious about when I'm cutting hair. I'm sweating. I'm like, whoo. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Also, while I was recording and using my body cam the first time, I have to figure out my angles. One beginner mistake I made a lot throughout this thing is I didn't refix his necktie, which I'm sure he probably got hair down his collar. I also didn't wipe the hair off him as I was cutting, and he might have been uncomfortable in the kid cake because I felt like it was too tight, but he said he was cool. I mean, the overall haircut actually came out very nice and well, but I was kind of perplexed with the top of the hair. I wasn't too sure if I had went too far up, but I'm like, like, you know what? Hey, man, treat this like a mannequin. Get it to look like how you want it to get it. You know, like, overall, when you cutting a person's hair, the point is to get it to look good. You know what I mean? And you can't get, like, you have to get uncomfortable sometimes. Sometimes you got to do things you're not used to doing. Sometimes you got to use the shears. Sometimes you got to use the clippers, you know. But you have to get the haircut looking right. You have to get it looking balanced, man. Whether you take your comb and do clipper over comb, shear over comb, you know, you got to figure it out. I was focused a lot on the lines, but I did notice that the .5 guard on the Tomb 45, it is a little bit longer. I'm not sure if that was like causing me problems in the end, but today was like a good day for me as far as fading. I did it alone, no teacher, and you know, it's just the beginning. You know, I'm gonna look at this video back in the day and be like, oh my God, what was I doing? You know, but I'm starting to get the concept, you know, and it starts first with making sure you're not doing dumb stuff like zero gapping your clippers. You know what I mean? Like, you can zero gap them when you feel like you really need that, as far as for bulk or clip over comb. But for a clean fade, man, it's just best to go with what's in the box, man. Look how this shit is just like erasing, like butter is erasing. I was actually like quite impressed, you know. I feel like I did mess up my bottom line when it was time to take my last line out. Like, it was just like, you know, I could have done better. But overall, I'm proud with my work. I'm very confident. I'm starting to become more confident. I noticed that the cowlick was mad crazy. But as I put in my one line, I'm being very meticulous in making sure that this cut stays neat. I mean, your boy hair was growing everywhere, and the mom insisted that we didn't do a buzz cut with the clipper. She wanted clipper over comb, so we gave her what she wanted. You know what I'm saying? While I'm working on this, and Mel's over there, and Phil's over there working on what he's working on. And I was just trying to basically get into how to picture. She gave us a picture, a reference point, on how she wanted all three of them to look. So, you know, we did our best to the best of our capabilities. If you notice, it's a little light, the fade. I wasn't paying attention to that part, but definitely, you know, you have to pay attention to the way things are gradient and the way things come across. But overall, man, your boy hair came out cool. As I was getting rid of that bottom line, I did have a problem. I felt like I was creating a new line, or the clippers was just, you know, cutting into it. I don't know if it was just my eyes, you know, but, you know, I am willing to take all tips. So if you have any tips on what I could have done better, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Don't judge, and just, you know, hey man, this is a safe zone for barbers, people that's in barber school. It's okay to mess up, but just don't stay messed up. You dig? It's DJ Naka, Faded Hustle, and you already know how we do over here. Fade, hustle, repeat. It's Faded Hustle, man. By the way, your boy was getting aggy. I was pretty much trying to shape his hair at this point. I would get the perimeters, however you say that. But yeah, your boy haircut came out good, man. Check him out on my page. Real cool haircut. My phone went dead. I was having technical issues with recording, so I didn't get to get all the videos, but you get the gist of it. Notice the dark spot over there on the right-hand side. You know, his hair was almost damn near driving me crazy. I felt like it was blemishes and marks and things that, you know, or whatever. But he loved his haircut. I gave him a business card. You know what really cheered him up? I said, hey, yo, let me cut your beard. he was stoked, so that turned him up, man. He felt like a man. Notice here I'm doing clip over comb. Try to just get everything and lay down smoothly. I did put product in his hair at the end. I was very careful about how I was handling him because he was very, 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 you know what I mean, over it. But yeah, DJ the Barber, Faded Hustle, Fade Hustle, Repeat, man.